All right, I have a word for you. And this one of these words that is very powerful. And this word is about being focused. You know, move by faith, not by sight. Do not be a person who's driven by what you feel. Just because you feel something, just because there's something that is happening, does not mean that it should move you. You need to focus. And do not focus on your problem. Do not focus on your situation. Because the more you focus on your situation, the more you give it power, the more you give it authority over you, the more you look at it, the more you meditate on it, the more you think about it, the more bigger it becomes. It's like there's a giant in front of you. And yet, if you drive your eyes off that problem and focus on God, then God will take care of that problem. You need to put your eyes on God. You need to focus on God. Now, I do remember a time when I was watching, there's one day when I was watching a certain cartoon, and this cartoon was running, and all of a sudden, or by mistake, it slipped off a high cliff and jumped. So this cartoon seemed as though it was flying. In its mind, it seemed as though it was flying, and in reality, it was opposing the laws of gravity. But when it looked down below, it saw that it was high. It realized that it was not on ground. So the moment it looked down, it began to fall. So what happened is that it lost its focus. Had it remained thinking that it was flying, then it would have not fallen down. I mean, there was an example, a real example of Peter himself, who saw Jesus walking on water. And he called out the master. Now, Peter wanted to walk on water, so Jesus called him. So Peter started walking on water. But when he realized that he was walking on water, fear came into his mind. He looked at his surrounding, and he looked at the storm, and he began to sink. Why? He lost focus. He was no longer focusing on Jesus, but he was focusing on the storm. And the moment you take your eyes off God and focus on the storm will wipe you. The storm will destroy you. The storm will take you apart. You will be no more. You will get lost in the storm. That's why you need to meditate on His word day and night. You need to have the God-like kind of faith. And God is pleased with faith. He's not pleased with your emotions. That's why you see you need to focus on Him alone. You need to focus. You need to get out of the crowd, because sometimes you get mixed into the crowd. You need to, and you need to have a personal space. You need to have a private room where you can focus on God, where you can pray, where you can fast, where you can meditate on His word day and night without these things that are obstructing you, because there are a lot of distractions out there. If you move with the crowd, you will not achieve your breakthrough. You need to focus. You need to focus on Jesus. Because in Him lies a breakthrough. In Him lies a healing. In Him lies a miracle for your life. Now, one of the reasons as to why people have taken long without achieving their miracle, it seems as though from year to year it is the same problem, is because they lack focus. Of course, yes, they focus, but they do not focus on God. Mainly do not focus on God. It seems as though they are focusing on God, but in reality, they focus more on their problem rather than focusing on God. What you put your attention at becomes your master. So if you put more attention on your problem, on your situation becomes Lord over you. But if you draw your attention away from your situation and put it to God and say, God, here is my situation. Take care of it. I cannot do it on my own, but I lay it in your hands. Then God becomes God over you. I hope this is clear. I hope these words that I speak are not words to condemn you, but these are words to show you these things, to show you these mysteries that some people do not know. These are the things that you need to know to become victorious in your daily life. And if you start living this way, if you start living a life where you focus on God, then you are going to be victorious. Just like David. David was victorious in each and every battle that he had. Rather, in most battles that David had, he was victorious. Why? Because David had a custom. Before he went out to battle, he inquired of God. He inquired of the prophets. He asked God whether he should go to battle. And if he goes to battle, will he have victory or he will be defeated? And most cases, God told him that you will have victory. So he went to battle and he won his battles. Look at him when he was faced with Goliath. He did not fear. He did not tremble. Despite the size of Goliath, because people think Goliath was just some small giant or some tall person. This man was a giant. He was big. He was so tall. But David did not tremble because he knew that he had a God that is bigger than the giant. He knew that God had saved him from all different things, from the lions. So focus on God. I hope this word has been a blessing to you. I hope it has edified you. And if you have any question, do not be afraid. Go ahead and ask me your questions. Go ahead and place your comments, and you will be blessed. Until next time, see you.